Good morning, You Can Heal family. Today we're reading Second Chronicles chapter 2. My name is Shena, and I'm glad you're starting your day with me. We're together, so let's get to it. It says selection of the temple builders and the temple materials. Solomon now decided that the time had come to build a temple for the Lord and a royal palace for himself. He enlisted a force of 70,000 common laborers, 80,000 stone cutters in the hill country, and 3,600 foremen. Solomon also sent this message to King Hiram at Tyre: "Send me cedar logs like the ones that were supplied to my father David when he was building his temple. I am about to build a temple to honor the name of the Lord my God. It will be a place set apart to burn incense and sweet spices before him, to display the special sacrificial bread, and to sacrifice burnt offerings each morning and evening on the Sabbaths, at new moon celebrations, and at other appointed festivals of the Lord our God. He has commanded Israel to do these things forever. This will be a magnificent temple because our God is an awesome God, greater than any other." Hey, do you guys remember that song? Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven to earth with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. So yeah, that song, we used to sing that with the kids in Sunday school, and they had hand motions, to go with it. So that was verse 5. So yeah, you just got to take it right there. Yeah, I just sang to you. I did. Okay. Verse 6. But who can really build him a worthy home? Not even the highest heavens can contain him. So who am I to consider building a temple for him, except as a place to burn sacrifices to him? So send me a master craftsman who can work with gold, silver, bronze, and iron, someone who is an expert at dyeing purple, scarlet, and blue cloth, and a skilled engraver who can work with the craftsmen of Judah and Jerusalem, who were selected by my father David. Also send me cedar, cypress, and almond logs from Lebanon, for I know that your men are without equal at cutting timber. I will send my men to help them. An immense amount of timber will be needed for the temple I am going to build with a very large and which will sorry for the temple I am going to build will be very large and magnificent. I will pay your men 100,000 bushels of crushed wheat, 100,000 bushels of barley, 110,000 gallons of wine, and 110 gallons of olive oil. So I wonder what that would convert to today. Verse 11 says, King Hiram sent this letter to reply to Solomon. It is because the Lord loves his people that he has made you their king. Blessed be the Lord, the God of Israel, who made the heavens and the earth. He has given David a wise son, gifted with skill and understanding, who will build a temple for the Lord and a royal palace for himself. That's really good. I like how his son, he said, was gifted with skill and understanding. So he's got special gifts and talents, but he's also got the wisdom of the Lord. That makes for a great combination. Because what does it matter, right, if you have all these gifts and talents, but you lack wisdom? So that was good. That's what came to my mind. Verse 13 says, I am sending you a master craftsman named Hiram Abai. He is a brilliant man, the son of a woman from Dan in Israel. His father is from Tyre. He is skillful at many things from gold, silver, bronze, and iron. He also knows all about stonework, carpentry, and weaving. He is an expert in dyeing purple, blue, and scarlet cloth and in working with linen. He is also an engraver and can follow any design given to him. He will work with your craftsmen and those appointed by my Lord David, your father. Send along the wheat, barley, olive oil, and wine that you mentioned. We will cut whatever timber you need from the Lebanon mountains and will float the logs in rafts down the coast of the Mediterranean Sea to Joppa. From there you can transport the logs up to Jerusalem. Solomon took a census of all foreigners in the land of Israel, like the census his father had taken, and he counted 153,600. He enlisted 70,000 of them as common laborers, 80,000 as stone cutters in the hill country, and 3,600 as foremen. So that is the end of chapter 2. He took a census of all foreigners in the land. I just want to go back up to verse 16. We will cut whatever timber you need from the Lebanon mountains and will float the logs in a raft down the coast of the Mediterranean Sea to Joppa. From there you can transport the logs to Jerusalem. Okay, so Joppa, the city there, was a major, I don't know what it's called, not stopping place. A port, is that the word? A port? And Joppa. Now, is that where the story of Jonah, is that where the man was supposed to go and preach to the people? I think it was. Remember, and Jonah, he got swallowed by the whale. There's a little article. Let me read this here about the city of Joppa. It says, the modern city of Joppa, a suburb of Tel Aviv, Israel, is located on the coast of the Mediterranean Sea, about midway between the northern and southern boundaries of the country. In Bible times, the city was called Joppa, a name that means beautiful. I did not know that. This city is first mentioned in the Bible as a portion of the land allotted to the tribe of Dan. In later years, the prophet Jonah tried to escape his call to preach to the city of Nineveh by going to Joppa to catch a ship bound to Tarshish. Okay, that's right. Okay, so he was supposed to go to Nineveh, Jonah was, but he ended up going to Joppa instead. So Joppa was the only natural harbor on the Mediterranean Sea between Egypt and Acco, or Ptolemais, north of Mount Carmel. It seemed as a maritime shipping center for the inland city of Jerusalem in both Old and New Testament times. Solomon's temple at Jerusalem was built in part with timber from Phoenicia. The logs were floated on rafts from the forests of Lebanon to Joppa, where they were hauled by land to the temple site. Two New Testament personalities are connected with Joppa. The city was the home of Tabitha of Dorcas. After Tabitha was restored to life by Simon Peter, many people believed on the Lord. Yeah, I remember that story. It was Acts chapter 9, verses 36 through 43. Then it goes on to say, Simon, a leather worker, also lived at Joppa. And you can find that in Acts 10:32. While praying on the roof of Simon's house, Simon Peter received his famous vision of something like a large sheet descending from heaven. And that's Acts chapter 10, verses 9 through 22. This vision led Peter to this conviction, end quotes. I see very clearly that God doesn't show partiality. In every nation, he accepts those who fear him and do what is right. I love that. God is no respecter of persons, but he is looking for people who fear him. Not that you're afraid, but you're in awe of him because he's an awesome God and you do what's right in his sight. So that's really good. And then it says, from that point on, Peter preached the gospel of Christ to Gentiles as well as to his own Jewish countrymen. And this Bible here, the Open Bible's got a picture of you from a housetop in Joppa, across the bay to Tel Aviv. So, interesting. Very cool. Okay, you can heal family. Good stuff right there. A lot of good lessons in there to pull out. So we will be back tomorrow. And chapter 3 is the construction of the temple. So probably a lot of measurements and things like that. And then they have also a little bit longer article on the temple. So we'll read that too. Always remember, true healing begins with self-love. Why? Because God is love and He lives on the inside of you. Bye for now.